Hello, and welcome to another broadcast of Pax Dei, the search for steel, starring Emphr. Emphr is now mining, as you can see by the thumbnail, and we are going. Oh, wait, hold on. I almost forgot. We need to start the chat up with our old standby. Hello, world. All right, so the search for steel. This is the way I can do steel. So we're going to try to get as much steel as possible, which means we need a lot of iron ore. So through this evolution, instead of me just mining and looking at the pretty sites here in Pax Dei, which everybody loves, they're wonderful sites. Look at those trees. They did a great job. Love it. We are also going to basically, this is it, guys. This is tonight's episode, so we're going to just talk a lot. I might be able to finish up this haul, HAUL. And what we'll do is we might go kill some Justicars for the fun of it. And then, well, yeah, I need to come back here and actually mine more, because once I mine all this and get the appropriate amount, I'm going to stick it in my furnace before I go kill some Justicars. Those evil people that live up on the hill in the valley of death and stink. Emphr is not like that. But yeah, that's our plan for tonight. You'll see a couple different aspects. The combat system hasn't been upgraded just yet, so you see a lot of different me moving around and blocking mostly. I don't like standing toe-to-toe to things, but I'll bring a couple different weapons because I need to continue to improve them before the autumn update. And currently we are halfway to our goal for ore. Every once in a while it'll jump up with 5 or 7 pieces per mining evolution, but there's 8. Nice. That's nice. And I'm here in Bromir, I think it's called. Just hanging out. Mining. This is one of the few places in Bromir you can actually get iron ore. I think there's 3, and I've found all 3 of them. Well, I should say, let me restate that, because I haven't been down to the most southeast of the continent yet. So there is that. Someday, I will be powerful enough to go back into the PvP area. But not today. As you can see, there's nobody around me, so that's good. Good news. Alright. Once I'm finished this, we'll create a random generation for our topic tonight. So let's see what we got tonight. Create 5 topics. Let's see what it comes up with. Oh, lots of different things. Let's start with the first one it gave me, the future of AI in creative industries. Let's see. there's a lot of nervousness, I suppose. AI is a tool. Let's start out with that. It's a tool that we can use just like a calculator, just like a hammer. Before a hammer, there was a stone rock. It just made it easier to hit in objects. Before the car, it was a cart, right? And there was sentiment around the cart that said, oh my gosh, they're going to put all the cart manufacturers out of business. But innovation struck, and those same people who could build carts now could build cars with little more training because they were already engaged in struts and, car-like things. Springs, smooth ride, where the seats were positioned, etc., etc. So ultimately, I would say AI is a tool. And I don't really feel that it's productive. I think it's reductive to say AI is anything other than a tool. Will it take jobs? Not necessarily. And here's what I mean by that. It's not completely, well, let's address the elephant in the room, shall we? The question is, what is the future of AI in creative industries? Let's be very upfront. AI cannot create. It mathematically performs operations that sequentially place things in an order that will appeal to the user's prompt. So will it create music? Yes, but it's doing it It's doing it, but it's not creating the music. It's not coming up with something from the heart. Same with drawing, right? When some of the amazing AI art you see is derived from the painstakingly written prompt that will direct the AI to create the art. So think about it. So this applies to anything across AI. If I'm a programmer, I still have to tell the AI exactly what I want and where I want it. I can't just say, make this program that does this and expect it to come out exactly how I want it to come out. It won't happen. With time, there might be a time where AI will eventually reach near that, right? It might get to a point where it's really, really hard to distinguish it between, computer generation and human generation. I'm not talking about the output. I'm talking about the actual. Well, in a way, I'm talking about the output. What I mean to say is, without that human input right now, AI won't produce anything. It's potential, not kinetic. The potential is driven by the imagination of the human inputting the prompt. So, how does it affect creative industries? It's going to affect it in a great way. And I mean that in 2 degrees of the word great. Great as in awesome, and great as in expansive. For example, with AI, you can create special effects faster. Really good special effects faster, right? So you're going to get more entertainment quicker. You'll be able to create a song faster. You'll be able to get ideas down on paper faster. You'll be able to craft business ideas quicker and more efficient. You'll be able to create, if you are lacking in certain skills, it can make up for those skills. For example, let's say you had a bad day and you need to turn it around. I couldn't resist. Anyway, but if you had a bad day and you write something and you're like, you know what? It sounds good to me, but I really need to ensure that my tone is friendly and I have a direct question that's answerable. And I certainly don't want to be vague to the person reading my email. So you copy your email into AI and you do craft your prompt, because it's still prompt crafting. You can't just say, write me an email based off of this email, because you'll get something and it'll work good. But you really want to be specific in your prompt to give you the output that you desire. And then you can write that email or take that email that the AI writes. And what I would do, and what I put it into another program, read it, change words, craft it a little bit more, but read it and see if that's not the idea that you were trying to get across, and in a more in a better attitude, for lack of a better sentence, right? I do that periodically with things that don't hold secrets, right, from companies and stuff. So I got to be careful when I do that. But what about the email that you get or receive, right? So maybe there's an email string and you're like, hey, this is like 17 emails long. Let me go down to the bottom and try to figure it out. Well, AI can do two things for you in these email strings. One, if it's multiple languages, you can ask the AI to translate the languages and summarize the entire string and see who has what assigned to them, and if you have any action items from the email. So that's really powerful. Instead of taking 20 minutes, I can take 5 minutes. Instead of spending an hour going back and forth asking people about this email, at least I have a foundation where I can target my questions, right? So AI is powerful in the creative space. If you wanted to write a book and you were caught, you're like, man, I keep thinking this way. I keep wanting to do this one thing, and I keep saying the same thing over and over again. Run it through AI. Say, hey, this is what I want to say. Can you change it up a little bit because I sound like a robot? And prompt engineering is everything. So I wouldn't just use that prompt. I would use more in-depth prompts, right? But the idea I'm trying to convey for your use for everybody's use, is to look at it and as AI as an asset, not as a liability, not as it's going to take over the world. Now, could it, if it hit singularity? Yeah. I mean, if you think about an entity that can achieve answers in milliseconds, if not nanoseconds, AI would be it, right? It could basically craft an idea so quickly and vet it 100 years in the future. It could also, at a singularity level, it would be so smart that we wouldn't even have an IQ test that could measure its IQ. So if we wanted space travel, a singularity AI might be able to give it to us if we wanted to travel warp drive, because there is a theory out there that's workable, right? So think about AI as a great asset. Many science fiction writers have AIs as computer-controlled spacecraft because they control every aspect of the spacecraft. They still need humans, right? Could they build robots? Nah, we'd have to build the factories, and then the factories that built the robots could build the factories. But my point is, over AI-dominated human race, or even worse, the destruction. Welcome Skynet. AI is good for a lot of different aspects of art, science, and just normal everyday jobs, right? That doesn't mean it's a threat. It's a tool for now. So I would highly advise everybody to understand prompt engineering. Know which AI is good for you. Sometimes I kind of balance the AIs against each other to see which ones will falter. Meaning, I'll test that, right? I will say, is anything in this paragraph untrue, right? And it might say, well, this is not exactly true. It's stretching the truth, right? And you find out a few different aspects to the entirety of the AI, which I think is great. I mean, nothing and no one is perfect. AI is created by man. Man is imperfect. Humans are imperfect. Let's go to math. Math is a human-made tool. If you think math is perfect, I'm going to question that. Is it as close to a tool, a nice tool that we can use? Absolutely. Mathematically, we have conformed a lot of different aspects of physics into mathematical equations, and they work, right? They seem to work all the time, and that's the beauty of math, right? So math is a tool. So I'm going to say, yeah, the creative industries will benefit greatly. Every industry will benefit greatly from AI. Let me see. ChatGPT actually says the fields like writing, graphic design, music, film production. Yeah, sure. Yep. Yeah, I would say that all those are affected. I'd say normal everyday jobs are affected. And like any system, garbage in, garbage out. Your databases are only as good as the data that are populated by them, or populating them, I should say, more accurately. So keep that in mind when you're talking about AI. Definitely don't treat it as the enemy for now, because it's not the singularity. We're maybe close, but right now it's amazing. Of course, there's dangers. There's dangers to any use of the tools, or there's misuse of the tools provided by the inventor. I would challenge anybody on the chat right now. What's one technology that has not been abused? I'm not talking about the degree of abuse. What I'm talking about is abused at all. So, powerful, right? So AI, creative industry is great. AI, any industry, great tool. I highly advise it. I recommend it. If you, as a learning tool, especially as a learning tool. I can't tell you how good I got at PMP by asking AI to quiz me on PMP in a specific way. I did a lot of prompt engineering to give me exactly how I wanted the AI to treat me and how I wanted it to test me. So keep that in mind as you track the progress of AI. And I hold firm the belief that it is good. Let's see. How social media affects mental health. Oh boy, that's a big topic, huh? Let's see. ChatGPT says, analyze the impact of platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and X on self-esteem, anxiety, and social connections. You can also discuss how users can balance the positive aspects of social media with its potential negative effects on mental well-being. Well, let's start out with, instead of these like Instagram, TikTok, and X, let's start out with LinkedIn, because that's where I do most of my articles. So is social media good in that aspect? I think so. It brings together professionals who can share ideas and articles and maybe come together. Now, is there a dark side to it? Absolutely. Like I said in the previous segment, is there a technology or invention that has not been used for evil? The answer is no, by the way. It's a resounding no. I can't think of one. Let's see, what else about social media? So LinkedIn's good, I think. Like I said, go on LinkedIn, check out my articles under my same name as the channel. And you'll see I've written a lot of articles, and some explore the uses and benefits of AI, cautioning. It's a cautionary tale, right? I do mention the downfalls and pitfalls of such devices. So don't think I'm just taking one side and I'm completely biased, which is farthest from the truth. Now, for myself, I use X, but I don't use Instagram and TikTok, so I can't really speak to them. Although I can speak to TikTok as much as I use YouTube Shorts, right? So I think they're equivalent. I don't think they're the same, but I think they're the equivalent type of format. I think they're very addictive. I think the algorithm narrows down what you're seeing all the time. You can tailor your algorithm depending, but if you get stuck in an algorithm loop, oh boy, is that an algorithm loop? It really pinpoints and focuses on certain things that you had interest in. You might not be interested all the time, but boy, does it make it seem like you want to see a certain series of videos all the time. The 60-second. And the 60-second shorts can take you from 0 to hours later. You have to be very careful on that type of medium, for sure. X, I don't use that often. I'd like to use it more, but I'm not really. What I like to do is promote my LinkedIn articles and try to direct people there. I sometimes put posts there. I don't get much traffic, so I'm not trying to be controversial. I don't think you have to be controversial, but I guess social media brings that out in people, right? I think that's why mental health is affected so much. What can I do to get clicks? Well, I did. I was going to use variables, and I was going to use X. I did A to be popular. Well, A is no longer working. So how do I maintain popularity? Well, I do B. Well, B exceeds A's popularity, right? So now I do B. B might take away or be more absurd than A. More than likely it is. I think you see this in the news all the time because the news does this so well. Somebody crosses the street and then, they get clicks on it. Cool. Somebody gets hit by a car crossing the street. That same somebody. Oh, they just escalated it. Right now you gotta click on it, find out what happened to him. Then, person gets hit by a car causing 20 car pileup. Well, I gotta read that. Ooh, hope everybody's okay, right? That should be the first thought of everybody. But these are the things that people one up. I see it a lot on prank videos, right? Or what they call prank videos today. They do a prank video, it gets popular. Then they're like, what can we do? Well, I can bother this guy a little bit more, or this person a little bit more, until they freak out and decide to become a criminal because I'm bothering them. Wow, that's going to get clicks. Sure, let's do that. And then there was the one YouTuber, I think it was, who was, or TikToker in the mall, who bugged the guy so much that the guy just shot him in the stomach. He didn't die, thank goodness, but it's like, is it good for mental health? I like that. I used in those things. Even back in the day. I'm talking back in the day. What got the most clicks? Well, I could tell you, thumbnails of women. That's what got clicks. It was sad, but music also got clicks. But I mean, it was that thumbnail. That thumbnail drew you in. It's like a book by its cover, right? The old saying, don't judge a book by its cover. And I think that's the biggest thing. What I'm trying to do with this series is tonight I actually put a screenshot of the game, and it's pretty cool. But usually I try to get some AI art up there because I really like how it portrays some of the world, and I do a great deal of prompt engineering to do it. But social media definitely can be taxing in the realm of mental health, for sure. Yeah, I think, well, when I grew up, we didn't have the internet as prevalent as it is today. Heck, I would argue that my generation was definitely contributors to that, for sure. But nowadays, people are on their phones the entire time, I think, for a couple reasons, right? Communication, obviously, one of them. But for likes. Oh, I love that. Getting the compliment, right? You're the best. Which is good. I think people should get some praise. Positive reinforcement's always good. But positive reinforcement for the sake of positive reinforcement, I think might be bad on mental health. A person might need to hear they're wrong, or they need to change their ways before something bad happens to them. And having people say that they love what they're doing all the time might not be the best way of doing it. Even if it's a portion of the stream or of the comments, right? Everybody likes to hear the fact that they're doing good, that they're appreciated, that they're loved. And I think that's a big deal for a lot of people. So mental health is I wouldn't say it's a negative. I think it net neutral. I wouldn't say net negative, but it does have a big negative impact. We hear about it every day, right? Social media. Heck, we're watching a stream today. I'm trying to keep it positive. I'm trying to keep everybody entertained. So if you're doing something while you're watching me do this, great. That's awesome. I hope I can make your day that much easier. Maybe just have a background conversation in your ear, and hopefully you're doing something else. You know, if you're watching intently, thank you very much. And if you're liking what you hear in the background, hit the like button. If you like it so much that you want to subscribe, I'd be honored to have you subscribe. We'll have more conversations like this. I think the potential for social media is great. I think what we need to do as a society, as a culture, needs to change. Because like any tool, the way it's used is mainly the culture that is using it. For example, I got a great example, I think. Hammers. A hammer can be used to build a house. It can also be used in war. We've had war hammers made. We've had the battle hammers that are smaller than the war hammer. So ultimately, oh wow, I mined them all. Guess I'll wait for them to respawn. But as you that's a spooky forest. I can't do anything in the spooky forest. Especially this lightly armored. But yeah, so mental health, I think overall the culture needs to have the opportunity for people to do well. But the culture used to be where people wouldn't provide solace to just everything, right? People would push back and say, you know, that's wrong. Please don't do this. Or you might want to rethink this, right? These are little words, for example, practical jokes, right? Especially the ones that go too far. It's like somebody should have been there in the culture and said, look, we love your videos, but you don't have to take it farther than you took this last video. I mean, simple statement. But if everybody told that provider that, would anybody click on the next one if it was more extreme than the previous? That would be a cultural thing, right? The culture would have to change. Let those rocks grow here for a second. I wanted to see if these are red poppies. Nope, they're golden poppy. Okay. Still useful, but not as useful. But yeah, so how does it affect? I don't know. I would say net neutral. There's a lot of positive people out there. I wish everybody could connect to them. I want to be one of those positive people because I don't think the negativity or it might be fun. It might be an outlet for a little bit, but ultimately, I don't believe that kind of outlet is useful for anybody. I think overall, people, especially any culture, needs to be kind to one another, support one another. They don't have to like each other. That's not what I'm saying. If you like people, that's great. That's awesome. But even the people you don't like, you don't necessarily have to hate, right? You can just simply disagree with them. Instagram, I'm not sure. Like I said, Instagram's one of those platforms I don't have a presence on. I never tried to have a presence on. I guess it's more of a picture sharing blog type thing. I don't know. Maybe I'll check it out. Maybe I'll blog on it. I don't know. I'm not a very good writer, honestly. I've gone through 3 levels of college. I wouldn't say I'm a bad writer. It's not my best suit. I'm better at technical writing, I suppose, than creative writing for sure. I have a creative mind. I would like to think anyway. But overall, I don't think I would be a good creative writer. I'd love to create a novel. Maybe I could. Maybe I could just sit down and craft a novel. There's a lot of people out there that do. I love it. Like, we call them amateurs, right? The new people on Amazon that publish, they're self-published. But some of them are really, really good. They just never got a chance with a publisher, right? And that's not the dog publishers. I mean, let's face it, publishers can't publish everything. They have to be selective. Unfortunately, being selective means they promote one person over another. And you don't have infinite money as a publisher. So I get it. So that's why I love Amazon giving amateur writers or non-professional writers the opportunity to become professional or make a living out of writing. The internet has provided an outlet for those creatives that may not have been discovered. Let me use air quotes on that. Let's see. So that's how I think. I think it affects mental health. I think there's anxiety for sure. I think people are they get addicted, right? Because there has been studies for dopamine. Dopamine hits every time you swipe on a TikTok. Yeah, look those up because I've read about them. I have never read a study on it, so the knowledge I've gained is mostly from articles that I've read and personalities that I listen to. But I trust them to a point, right? Always critically think. We've talked about this before. I always want to ensure or promote critical thinking. I don't believe that anybody can live without it. It's a very useful skill. Ooh, this is a new topic. The ethics of genetic engineering. By the way, I'm going to pause here. I told you, mining is mining. And I'm not even close to being done yet. I'm glad I brought 3 pickaxes. Because I have no way to repair the ones that go... Oof. Alright, so the ethics of genetic engineering. Let's see what ChatGPT has to say after I run up this cell and start mining again. Beautiful landscapes, though. So I showed you the haunted forest. That's that one there. Or diseased. That's what they call diseased forest. Excuse me. That red forest up there, that is a haunted forest. Diseased forest? Haunted. Can't take either. Cannot take either. Where am I going? Oh, I'm going over here. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So the ethics of genetic engineering. ChatGPT says engage with the ethical dilemmas posed by technologies like CRISPR, especially regarding designer babies, eradicating diseases, and potential for social inequality. Inequality? I don't know what it means by that. Ask your audience whether these innovations should be regulated and how they might shape the future of humanity. All right, so ChatGPT does have a interesting take on technologies. Let's go with not genetic engineering, right? Genetic engineering could, in theory, eradicate disease. I don't see any regulation that needed. I think the government should be regulated now. If the genetic engineering is the actual designer baby, right? We're going to create traits of a baby that look like this, have blue eyes, have, brown hair or blonde hair. Or, then, how does that technology get offered? Well, of course it's going to be at first, especially to the rich, right? To people who can afford it. There's no way that this technology comes out, in my opinion, and is available to the general public without monetary expenditure, right? So if there is a way to increase intelligence, if there is a way to make you're young, more beautiful before they come out, right? They're more handsome, more beautiful, then you can genetically engineer that into being. Now, let's hold that thought, because we also have to say, if CRISPR technology was mastered, let's say we knew all the pitfalls and we could navigate around those pits, right? Because any technology that is new has unrealized consequences. So we don't want to do it too early, right? But let's say CRISPR had the ability to cure all diseases in the next generation, but it was only available to the rich. That would be inequality, for sure. and remember, we're going off the premise that these are technologies that have no side effects, that have been vetted and tested, so they're what we desire in our conversation is the outcome that would happen without detrimental effects. So let's keep that in mind as we do through the conversation. Otherwise, we just stop the conversation at the, oh my God, there's going to be so many experimental things that we got to stop the conversation on the actual genetic engineering, right? Now we would have to, because ethically we should not move forward if it's a chance of being or a chance of eradicating disease, right? Because you wouldn't have that conversation. Almost there. But ultimately, let's see. Genetic engineering is one of those things that I'm mixed on, right? Ethically, do we tamper with a conscious being's entrance into this world? Think about what I'm saying. I'm manipulating the DNA of a being that has not been born to take their place in this world differently. Well, I don't want to say it even that way because that's not really. I don't really want to say it that way. It's. How do I want to say this? You're changing your child. That's crazy. I think, and it's been reported, but I think the reports said that China's actually trying to make a super soldier. Ethically, that's insane, especially with the state of the technology today. Could they have mastered it? Yeah, they could have for sure. But to me, that's insane. To mess with genetics at this point in the level the level of technology. It's absolutely insane. I think the field has a lot of value, especially, let's say, for me. If it could affect my health in a positive way, I think that would be phenomenal, right? Would I try it? Only if it was tested and the testing yielded positive results, right? Because I wouldn't want it any other way. I wouldn't want to test it out on myself and have some kind of, fourth appendage, third arm come out of my side. That'd be useful. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. I think, and this goes back to the previous conversation as well, when it says, when I was saying that the culture, it really moves us forward. Because the culture will decide, the scientists themselves will have the ethical fortitude or the cultural norm to move forward or to stay their hand because they grew up in a culture that they morally and ethically would think about what they were doing and make a decision based off of that. So there is that as well. So keep that in mind as we're talking, because everything we're talking about, when we're talking, especially when we're talking governmental regulations, try to punch it. When we're talking governmental regulations, why do regulations need to be instituted? Well, it's because of unethical behavior or the guarding of criminal behavior, preventing criminal behavior, right? Ultimately, that's what it is. I mean, laws are made because of the same premise, right? Don't litter. Yeah, if it was embedded in the culture, nobody would litter, right? I don't think I'm saying anything controversial. Why would we need a law if the culture, at large decided, or writ large, would be opposed to that type of I thought there might be iron around. All right, let's go on. Remote versus hybrid versus office work. I wrote I didn't write an article on this one. I was going to write an article on this one and decided against it. I'm going to hold my opinions on this. So we're gonna move on. There we go. I think I got everything. 20s across the board. Yep. All right. Roles of experts in an age of information overload. All right. I did write an article on this one. I thought this was a good article. I tried to come at it from a couple different aspects and using positive and negatives, or arguments for and arguments against experts versus expertise. I think there's a fundamental need for the conversation. And why? Well, we went through a pandemic listening to the quote experts. And the reason I say quote experts is because they weren't vetted by everybody. They were vetted by a few people and we were told they were experts. Okay. I mean, that's fair. You told me about it. We rely on experts. Experts are tested, right? Expertise is learned. That's a very fundamental. Read the article. I thought I put together a really good article speaking to both sides of this issue. With all this information that we are gathering and interpreting ourselves, right? I've always said this almost my entire life. We almost need to be doctors, lawyers, businessmen, have these degrees because we encounter these things every day. These are life things. Like lawyers, we eventually will have some kind of court issue. Not issue. Let me say it a different way. We're in a litigious society, right? So ultimately, I think the skill or the being an expert in judicial systems is a good thing, right? Doctors, same way. We can navigate. A doctor says, take this. Well, we've done research into our doctor, right? So we trust their opinion. And the reason we trust their opinion is because they went to school longer than we did. So they become the expert, right? Expertise is a little bit different. And the reason I broke it up into expert and expertise is because I have expertise in a lot of different things, right? Am I the expert in it? I would argue sometimes, depending on what I'm talking about or what I'm doing, right? And all of us have this inside of us. So don't think I'm just talking about one person or another person, experts, and you're not included in this because you are included in this. All of us have expertise. Is that expertise widely known? Is the expertise able to make money for us? Maybe, but maybe we haven't capitalized on that expertise. So keep that in mind as well, right? The experts and expertise everybody has their talents. Everybody. So I want everybody listening to know that everybody has their talents and everybody should be able to capitalize on those talents depending on what they are. We have 6 billion people on this planet. If you think about it, there should be a market for something we know, right? So keep that in mind as we're going through this thing, this wild thing we call life, okay? This looks like a lot, but it is not. That's why I need to go back out, because I do not have enough. Steel is really hard to make unless you're actually getting the pure iron ore and then you're getting a little bit more. Oh, let me do this while I'm thinking about it. We'll fix my tools as we're speaking about tools tonight. So now that we are talking about experts, we still have to rely on people we deem experts, right? We have to, and we have to deem them experts. And the way we deem them experts is we want to be able to research, test their knowledge, ask questions. You might not know the answers. That's why they're experts and you're not, right? But at a certain point, at least you are asking about what they know and how they know it, right? Unfortunately, I have to make some wrought iron. Let me see how many I can get out of this. I don't want to do too many. Okay, so... Alright, let's see what the ChatGPT... Why we continue to rely on experts in a world where information is easily accessible. Discuss what qualifies someone as an expert and whether individuals can develop expertise without formal credentials. How should people approach misinformation and the role of trust? Well, let's go with the first one. An expert is anybody who's been tested. Let's say it that way. Yeah, that's plain and simple, right? Let's go hunt people. I don't have enough, I might have enough coal. Maybe. It's gonna take a lot to do this. Alright. Let's see. 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 80. Can't do 3. Okay, that's all right. All right, so I think we define what an expert is, right? Just for everybody's knowledge, what I'm doing is I'm actually crafting the iron ore. So when I count out the 20, 40, 60, 80 things, it's basically every 50. So if I do 20, 40, 60, 81, I get 2 out of it with the right amount of coal. Which reminds me to put this. There we go. All right. There we go. Pure iron. There we go. Perfect. All right. Now we can go. I've used most of my coal up. Now we can put these back in the chest and go get my weapons and go have some fun. Work before play. All right. Here we go. I like my little industrial area, and then I have the my clothing shop over here. I'm gonna have to pick up more arrows before I go. I use a lot of arrows trying to mow down these Justicars. Oh, actually, I'm gonna put that at 8, and that at 5, and that at 3, and that at 4. There we go. Trying to get my sword level up, my my one-handed sword level up. See if I have any more arrows. If not, I'm gonna have to do it. Whoa, whoa. There we go. Nothing there. Nothing there. Man, I was hoping to just go, but let me grab some arrows. We'll talk more about experts and expertise. Seriously, read my article. I can't say enough about it, even though I wrote it. It's not arrogance. I did a lot of research on it, so I feel that I've made good arguments and explained it well. There's one. Uh-oh. Don't tell me I don't have any wrought iron arrows. Iron. There's rods. What do I need? 1, 2, 3. I need one more. Okay. Alright. Well, I'm gonna have to... This is rock. That's iron. Iron's not bad. It just does less damage, and since I'm going to kill monsters, I definitely want the arrows that will actually do something. Okay. So we talked about what qualifies somebody as an expert and what doesn't, right? Or an expert and expertise, the difference. Can you develop expertise without formal? Absolutely. I keep pointing this out to people I debate and I talk to. In the past, was anybody considered a doctor in the ancient world? No. Were they considered an expert? Yes. Were they considered a master at what they did? Yes. Could you say that's a doctor or an expert? Yeah, sure. But they didn't have what we currently have today as formal education. They went through private education normally, or they did the education on by themselves, and they learned, they tested by themselves. They progressed through the testing or the training by themselves. I don't believe formal education creates expertise. I think it's one path. Does it create an expert? Yes. With the asterisk, you have to put in the effort to get out the information. If you just float by and get your A's, B's, and C's, and you retain nothing or nothing of substance, I would pit somebody who wanted to study that subject on their own and become an expert without going to school in the same category. Right? I don't believe that debating from authority is effective. I don't believe it. Anecdotal is not a good debate tactic either. However, if your argument comes down to, and this is the argument from authority, right? I know, therefore you don't. Therefore I win. I think experts and expertise can be, there's formal credentials mean you've been tested to some degree, right? But so do experts. A plumber doesn't go, if they went through, they have credentials, right? They become experts and then they do the job. Well, I would argue that if a journeyman came up through the trades and did the job, they were tested along the way and become experts themselves. Do they have an expertise in carpentry or plumbing, electricity or electronics? Yes, but they didn't have formal education. Okay, doesn't make them any less of an expert. They might not know the newest state of art, technique or the name of the technique. They might have found it organically, right? Just because a technique has been crafted and created 100 years ago doesn't mean somebody couldn't reproduce it without learning it. That is to say, I don't believe any technique that was in the past couldn't be relearned in the future without it being written down, right? I mean, if that were the case, the wheel would never be invented again. And every advance in the wheel, we need an engineer to create a wheel? No. Right? So the way I think about expertise and formal credentials, you don't have to have formal credentials. I just don't believe it. If you study, if you do the work, if you talk to the right people and the experts, right? And you test yourself throughout that learning process, I believe that wholly is designed to create you in that aspect of being the expert. So don't ever say or ever think if somebody is mean, because this is a mean statement, you're not an expert. What makes you an expert over me? Please tell me. If it's formal training, sure. Is it because you went to a classroom for a semester? No, it doesn't make you an expert. But if you took a lot out of that course, went through the entirety of the degree program, learned aside or in parallel with all your classes, then sure you could be an expert. There's parallel paths to everything. So I'm going to keep it positive. And I truly believe that everybody can be an expert at what they want to be an expert on. Period. End of story. You just have to buckle down and learn. Today, we were talking about AI earlier. Today is the easiest time in history where you can learn something and become an expert. You can learn a language using AI. You can learn coding with an AI. You can learn history with the AI because you're going to use the AI. You're going to look up different subjects. The AI can guide you through the time periods that you want to learn. And then you go find the material on the internet and read the books on the internet, right? You take it from the experts and the AI can guide you through that learning process. So today is probably the absolute day where information overload, I'm going to say that's a negative statement. It's not information overload. It's the person knowing what information to tap into in order to find their path to expertise. You can ignore everything else. You don't have to be, and this is what kills me about colleges. You don't have to be well-rounded. You can well-round yourself. If you're interested in history, you don't have to study it. If you're being an engineer, you need to study engineering to be an engineer. Why do you need history? You probably need English, and the reason, or the language of your country, your natural language. Why do I say that? Because you want to be able to communicate your ideas. So you have to know how to form those sentences to express your ideas. You have to, right? So I believe that after you've been writing, like I write articles, I get better and better and better when I write articles. Why? Because I'm using the English language, my natural language, to express a thought and hopefully inform and convince somebody, maybe even describe something. The more I describe something, the better I get at describing that something. Writers have an amazing, like especially sci-fi writers, they have this amazing talent to write passages, right? think about it in the way of they have to describe a technology that is so unfamiliar to you because it is actually part of the world that they're trying to craft, right? So I think that's pretty amazing that they can do that. That's a real thing, right? I think all my drinks are in this one. Yeah, let's move these. There we go. Move that. We'll move that. Anything there? Okay. So I think that's good for now. Then I'll move it into this cabinet. I love my cabinets. There we go. And that way, I have all my food in one area and I don't have to keep running back and forth. This coal is for crafting of the alchemy stuff. There we go. Okay. We are ready. Got a little bit of running to do, but that's all right. It's not too much. And we can talk on the way. So, I hope I described and communicated my thoughts on that subject well, because I really want to keep it positive, and anybody that's listening, know that you have the ability to learn anything you want. Anything. You want to become a nuclear physicist? You can learn that right now. There's MIT courses for free. There's Harvard courses for free online. You want to go to a college course and see what they're learning? You have them online for free. And everybody's advertising these free courses. It's awesome. Today, you can be in a... Now, do you need a piece of paper? It's more proof that you've been through and tested. Doesn't mean you're an expert yet. Like a bachelor's degree has more expertise than the normal person in a subject, and I'm talking about like the STEM, right? The STEM subjects for sure. So, yeah, that can you get a job interview without a bachelor's degree? Yeah, I think you can. Now, some places might be like, well, you don't have any experience. Well, what happened to that kid? I can't remember his name, but I remember hearing a story where he built what was it? There was a nuclear reactor in his garage. His kid. Do you think he's an expert? Yeah, I think he's an expert. Did he have all the tools? He made do with the tools. Would he get hired by somebody? Yeah, I think he did. Point being is, there's things you can do that can provide you a path, and it doesn't have to be like physics or electronics or mathematics. You can learn math on your own. People sometimes have an inclination for it, and they don't like to go through school because it's too slow. They get it like in the first 5 minutes, and they're like, "Can we move on to the next?" But teachers have to teach to the lowest common denominator in the classroom, or the person who's not paying attention in the classroom. So, yeah, keep it positive out there. You can, in the age of information, and ChatGPT says the age of information overload. That's negative. It's not information overload. It's selective information. You can select the information that you're going to apply to learn, right? So keep it positive. And I try to keep it positive every day. I don't succeed, but I do try to keep it positive every day. I'd like to keep everybody in this channel positive. We're playing a game. We're having fun, right? As As long as that mining was, God, I'll tell you. Oh, look at that sunrise. Let's look at it for a second. Is it sunset or sunrise? Sunset. Sunset. There's the field of battle. There's 2 fields. That's the one we're going to. That is a named character, but I can't take him yet. And I'm glad I looked. There we go. Alright, now we're gonna do some battling. I'm an archer by trade. Especially with mages. Look at him, he's looking at me. He's just looking at me. He's like, you're nothing. I'm like, yeah, watch this. Look at this nothing, buddy. Oh, all right in the heart. Oh, I missed that one. There we go. The grape syrup is keeping me alive. I'm resistant to fire with grape syrup by a certain amount. Get this archer. Ooh, got him. Ah, can't believe I'm missing. You gotta run. You gotta sprint to get away from his arrows. Ah, that was it. I'm doing a lot of damage with my bow. Although I can't go up any more levels. So I need my steel arrows. Let's see if I can pull this guy down. Yeah, you always get hit by him. I love doing that. You kite him until he stops, and then he does the circle like it's gonna hurt me if I don't approach him, right? If I didn't have arrows, he would have very much attempt. He would have a really good chance of killing me because I've been in that circle of fire before, and it's not pleasant. Let's see if I can get this Justicar. Boom. Oh, cheetah car here. How did I get? How in the heck? I gotta get a block in here. I think I can take him with the sword. He's gonna kick me one more time. Can't believe I got a hit on him. Wow, that fight did not go well for me. That's alright. We'll wait until my hit points get back up. But I'm glad you joined me for tonight. I think we went over some really cool topics. And if you have any comments, and please put them in the comment section. I'd like to hear from you. Like I said, I don't have any comments yet, but I'd like to say I do. I do respond to all of them. Ah, crap. I got the wrong guy. That's alright. Is he coming down? He's moving. Ah, I can't believe I missed that. That was a... God. I should have killed this Justicar by now. God, he's still up. I'll take the damage. My God. I think I would not die. Ah. Mother bitch. There we go. Come on. There we go. As long as I have room to move, I pretty much am pretty golden. Let's get this guy. Let's bring him down here. He's gonna try to heal, but that's alright. See how my shield is. Wow, he's healing a lot. Hopefully I get my sword skill up here. Yeah, I'll take the damage just to get him out of there. Alright, so we're here. I don't have that much damage. So yeah, like, subscribe. I think everybody will enjoy the episodes coming up. I don't think we're too far off of the beaten path with subject matter. Let's go down and attack him from the front. Alright, as long as I don't get cocky, we should be okay. Now you really gotta check here. I'm over here. I want to make sure there's no other players near me. Sometimes they'll pull people in and they'll get aggroed from your back, and that's not good. Wow, he stopped in an awful hurry. There we go. Those guys, I pretty much have a... Oh, pure copper. I can't use pure copper, so it's like... I don't know. I should say I don't know where to get pure copper. Come on, really? I gotta start over. There we go. Come on. There you go. Oh, I missed. That sucks. There we go. Doesn't suck too bad, but it was not great. I'm hoping they come up with a little bit better combat system. It's not bad, but it's on the lower levels. I think it's all right. Ah, come on. There we go. Got out the shot before he did. That's the only reason I didn't get an arrow in my face. See if I can pull this guy over. Shoot where he's gonna be, not where he is, where he was. There we go. Oh, come on. Pulling two guys over would suck, but one at a time is not bad. I can get pretty far in, but then the name characters, I can't. I mean, look how I'm dressed. Come on now. I don't even have armor on. Let's see if I can pull this guy over. Yep, I can. Can't believe I missed. I hate when it doesn't block when you tell it to block. I really would love to take his armor and his sword, but it doesn't let you. Why wouldn't I? I don't know what that offset is because he can't follow it up with an attack real quick. Oh, I almost didn't block there because I thought I had him. Let's see how close I am with the sword. Gee whiz. Swords. Ugh, so far away. That's alright. We got time. I think I got a couple more people here. Should be... I should be able to take both of those guys. See, I blocked on that one. It's interesting, those Inquisition they try to heal themselves during battle. I don't get it. Because they leave themselves wide open when they cast a spell. And I'm okay with that. Man, that sounded really bad. Yeah, I am not doing so great on that one. Okay, that's fine. Let's see what I can draw out here. I think there's 2 people here. Yeah. Inquisition Conduit and a guy with an arrow. Let's see what I can do. Let's do this. There we go. He healed really early in the combat, so I'm not sure why he did that. I should have counted the amount of damage I would do. I tried to go for the quick kill. Alright, so that's 2. Impure iron ore, jeez. This one's going to be a little bit more, so I might hit my... I'm going to get out my real good sword for this one. I might be able to do this with this sword. There we go. Wow. Wow. That's going in the books. All right. That was not bad. I could deal with that. What do we got? A Justicar? I can take a Justicar. I need a little bit more stamina. Oh, as I draw my bow, I don't get any more stamina. Good to know. I didn't notice that before, but now I do. All right, let's do it. Oh, I had him. Man, I really wanted to hit him at least once. Really? I'm really close to that side, too. That's funny. I really want to go with the sword. I'm wondering when I'm going to lose the shield. I don't have to worry anymore. But I blocked with the sword, which was beautiful. That was it. That was a good combat. All right, so let's bring this guy over. Which way you going, dude? Wow, that was pathetic. I felt sorry for killing him. All right, so I have to watch myself on this one. I can't believe I hit him. He got me. That's all right. Oh, God, I hate when that happens. Glad it happened with a goad, because if it happened with anything else, I'd be in trouble. I have one more mage I can get. Ooh. I am getting really good with that. Let's see if I attracted anybody else with that. Ah, oh, come on. Where'd he go? Where did he go? Did he die? I don't know. Alright, well, that's it for tonight. A little laggy too. I hate when that happens. Okay. So, a little combat there at the end. I think I did well. I think I did a little bit better than what I had expected with... Well, I'm getting pretty good with this Justicars. I just need to get a better weapon for my sword. Uh-oh, this is going to hurt. That was really high. And let's pause here for a second and take a picture of the valley. Love it. All right. So I hope everybody, again, I love having a conversation. So if anybody joins me live, that'd be great. If not, join in the conversation on the comment section. I went over a couple different things. I did the AI in creative industries, or just AI in general, really, as a tool. I did the social media effects on mental health, which is kind of cool. I think I started the conversation, right? And these are all conversation starters. I don't expect anybody to think that I'm the definitive, this is the end of the conversation. No. These are all conversations that I'd rather start, right? We did ethics in genetic engineering. We talked about, we skipped over remote versus hybrid and in-office work. As I will write a paper about that, but I'm not gonna speak to it today. Then the roles of experts in an age of information was another one. So I've actually done a couple of papers on AI, and I've done a couple I just did a paper on the experts and expertise. So I encourage you to go over to LinkedIn and check out my articles, because I think they would forward the conversation even more. I was able to explain a little bit more about it. Hate running like that. And then, yeah, give me a comment. I saw the movie snippet with the and then. It was at a Chinese restaurant, and it was, I don't know the movie title, but it had Ashton Kutcher in it, and it had I forget his name, but they were in the back of the car, and he was ordering Chinese, and the speakerphone kept saying, and he's like, then that I'll come in there. And he finally blew up on her, and it was funny. It was well done. So if you ever catch me doing the and then, it's because of that movie. It was funny. It was a good movie. All right. So we will call it there as I head back to my house, victorious with booty. Lots of booty. Let's see. We got some pure copper ore. We got some other stuff. Oh, some rabbits. Should I try? Oh my god. Where'd the other rabbit go? Oh well. Anyway, the at any rate, the that's where I get the end then. So just if you were wondering, that's where I get the end then. All right. I'll try to think of the movie. If you guys think of the movie, let me know and put it in the comments. I'll probably do a search real quick because the movie is nagging me. Yeah, I knew it was a funny movie. I just can't remember what it was. Anyway, with that said, and then no, I'm kidding. Let's go with. I'll be pretty much at work the entire week. So I have, like I said, I'm a global person, so I have night meetings pretty much from until Friday. So keep that in mind as we're heading in the week. I'd love to do another live stream, but I doubt I'll have time. So next time you'll hear from me is more than likely Friday. So Friday is when I will definitely live stream 8 Central, more than likely. So that'll happen 8 Central on Friday for a definite, for if you want to plan for a Friday night and listen to me. Or you can just listen on the rebroadcast, if you will, or on the save, I suppose. Whenever you want. That's the beauty of these. I love podcasts because you can listen to them anytime. All right, let's start the conversation, and we will talk to you hopefully Friday. And I hope you enjoyed everything. So hit that like, hit that subscribe, and do the comments because they help the algorithm. From what I hear from somebody, they feed the algorithm. So any help would be great. I'd like to get this channel a little bit further out there because I think the conversations that I want to have will require a lot of different people. So culture is the ultimate indicator of where a country is going. I'm looking in the United States, but we can talk about any culture in any country because they are all important, right? Yeah, as a human race, culture is important as a human race. So we could even talk about that as another subject on Friday. So let's end it there. And so we'll talk to. I will talk to everybody on Friday. Hopefully, you can make it for the live show. If not, we will see you on the rebroadcast. So with that said, everybody stay safe.